Hey y'all, what's up? I'm Amy, aka the Piscean Seer, and this is one of your daily collective messages. Like, and subscribe if you get anything out of this. Thank you so very much to those of you who do like, subscribe, and comment. It is always and forever going to be loved and appreciated. God, archangels, ancestors, ascended masters, cosmic guides, all beings of the highest and purest white light, only with the best interest of me and the collective at heart. You are always and forever welcome into my readings. Okay, please give my wonderful, fabulous, and amazing Piscean Seer family the best and most accurate information for them at this time. Okay, so welcome to any new subscribers. Okay, welcome back to my beautiful subscribers who are already here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Thank you so very much for coming, and thanks for coming back. I'm just emotional. So this is an ISIS message, okay? We recording in the silence today because the damn internet people decided that well, they didn't decide shit. They got a power outage or something like that. They emailed me. So we're in the silence with it, okay? Hold on. I'm just talking about anything so I can put lotion on. I thought I was ready, but I guess I wasn't as ready as I thought. So anyway, this is an ISIS message. I think I said that already. I have a couple of notes, but I'm going to get the overall energy first, okay? So how are you seeing your energy at this time, ISIS? So we got the Two of Keys, okay, with the treasure. So I don't know. Maybe you could have been trying to figure things out for yourself. Maybe you feel like you lost a lot of things because, like, he's standing in this cabin, right? And, like, it looks like everything's been ransacked. Like, somebody broke in there and took all this shit or took everything from him. But he's not really seeing this box behind him with this golden treasure in it, you know? I think you're starting to become more aware of, like, your options, you know? Or I don't know, you could even still be, okay, so like outside of the window is like this crescent moon, and it's funny because that's how the moon is right now, okay? So right now I feel like you're starting to see more of your options. That kind of cancels out what I was going to say, okay? What else? And also I feel like, I don't know, maybe you could have had a hard time making decisions in the past, or you could be like questioning the decisions that you've made up until this point. But with the Seven of Roses, I don't think you really have to question that, you know? I feel like you've done a great job of embracing the journey, and like whatever choices or decisions you've made for yourself are really good at this time. They're positive investments to your future, okay? So like always remember that. What's going on the outside of them that you want to talk about? We got unexpected income, okay? So you got some unexpected money coming toward you. I wanted to say very quickly, okay? This is 27. So it's the Two of Keys and the Seven of Roses. That's 27. And then this unexpected income card is 27, okay? So 27 could be highly significant. You could be 27. You could be a life path number 2 or 7 or 9. Or you could have your birthday in February, July, or September. Yeah, September, okay? So what else? Whoa, okay, so we got expectation. Okay, so expect this very beautiful unexpected income. And like, if you like looking at your circumstances or like the shit that's going on right now in your life, and you feel like, you know, oh, I'm being imprisoned, I'm being punished, I must be getting karma, or, you know, I must be in trouble for something, you know. And that's funny because I kind of experienced that yesterday. Like, did I do something wrong, you know? Because shit has kind of like slowed down for me. But they're just kind of they've been explaining to me a lot that like they kind of have me like right where they want me, you know. And if I wasn't having a bit of a hard time on certain days, then I wouldn't be as motivated, or I wouldn't have such a fire lit under my ass to get out from where I'm at, you know. And so that's the same thing for you, you know. I think if shit was just perfect or shit was easy, then you would be more motivated to stay there where you're at, and you're not meant to be there where you're at, you know. So just like be aware of that. And I think also they're making you very aware of like, you know, who the rats or who the threats or who the issues are on the outside of you. So like, I mean, I don't think you really have anything to worry about, but you could have been worrying about certain things a little bit lately, you know. And you just don't. Okay, we got the mature man at the bottom of the deck and a child under that, and the main male. I don't know. Something is giving father energy, okay? I don't know. Your father is significant, okay? We got distant horizons, okay? So, I mean, your father could be in your energy, okay, in a good way, guiding you, Yeah, we got reflection with get out of your box and comfort with take it and give it. I'm not supposed to be in this deck yet though. Almost forgot. So the note, it said there's this like, I don't know if it's like a gas place or whatever, some place that I always pass by when I'm doing Instacart, and it says on the side of like this big old white tube thingy that I guess has like some sort of gas or something in it. It says 811. Okay, so you're supposed to call 811 before you dig into things, so that you can make sure, like if you want to dig in your yard, for example, if you want to dig a deep hole, like and make a pool, you need to call 811 before you dig, so that shit doesn't blow up in your face, right? So you don't hit a gas line or cause some sort of bigger problem when you could have just called ahead and checked. Okay, so I feel like that's kind of the energy with spirit at this time. I think they just want you to like talk to them a lot, to be very investigative about the choices that you make, or like the situations that you like, dig yourself into, or that like, you get yourself in or around, like I think you need to pay a lot of attention at this time. Okay, also I seen the Reaper on a truck, so somebody is getting karma, somebody could have passed, or somebody could be about to pass, that could be like a warning. Okay, you could be feeling that Reaper type of energy, but also the Reaper is the energy of death, right? It doesn't necessarily have to point to anyone's karma or anything negative, It could just be that you're embracing this energy of death, or like there's some part of your life that's dying out in order for you to receive these things that you've been expecting for a while, okay? Or that you need to be expecting, because shit is coming, okay? I feel like I'm always saying that, right? But I feel like shit does come, like every single time spirit tells me that something's coming or something's on the way, or I have something to look forward to, something amazing always happens, especially when I'm kind of how I am now. Oh my gosh, this is so trash. I cannot look up nothing on here. I forgot because there's no internet. Okay, but the number 8 is a number of abundance. 11 represents your intuition. I feel like you're definitely following your intuition to this beautiful abundance. I also got the number 155, so it's like there are major changes coming into you when it does come to like your finances and anything that you want to see change in your life. Okay, any changes you want to see, any changes you've been working toward, or anything you've been focused on accomplishing, it's coming to you. And then I got 1, 2, 3. Okay, so make sure that you are taking everything one step at a time, and really like just be trying your best to be in every moment, because I know it can get kind of hard when we get into our heads, and we can drive ourselves crazy, and we can really get into like that place where we're just like, I don't know why I was getting excited, or I don't know why I was getting my hopes up. Nothing's coming, nothing's going to change. I'm always going to be here, try to avoid that, like being your own Debbie Downer in your own head. You don't really have to treat yourself like that. Okay, talk to yourself very nicely, because there are beautiful things that you are attracting. Okay, and you need to believe in that shit, is what Isis is saying. Okay, and so also the name Rebecca could be significant. Okay, your name could be Rebecca, somebody's name could be Rebecca. Okay, that's funny, because I picked that up a long ass time ago, and then I started watching Vampire Diaries. Okay, Rebecca is an interesting character, because she is like this original vampire, and she can be like a super bitch, but she really has just been through like a whole bunch of trauma, and she's really like a big ass softie underneath it all, and like come to find out she don't even want to be a vampire, she want to be human. So I mean, I don't know, that could resonate with you in some sort of way. You could have made a lot of changes to your life. Maybe people could have viewed you as like some sort of like heartless energy in the past, and I think people are really understanding that, like they don't really understand you. They're like seeing the innocence about you. I feel like people are looking through fresh eyes, having a new perspective when they view you, because this is what you're doing with people on the outside of you. You're looking at them in a different way, and kind of like being more accepting of just who people are and how they really are, and not necessarily that face that they put on, you know. I feel like you're being very cautious, okay, when it does come to energies that don't serve you or that don't really mix with you, you know. You could be like, it's giving a little bit of paranoid type of energy, you know, like you don't have to be paranoid. You really don't have shit to worry about. And there's like not anybody that's going to come and get you at any time, okay. You're so protected, it's not even funny, okay. Yeah, we got receive, okay. So now's the time for you to be very open to receiving, okay, open to accepting any gifts, no matter where they might come from, because you never know. Like, just because somebody is giving you something, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's where that thing is coming from. For all you know, God could be working through another person to bring you something, and you over here, you know, trying to be stubborn or trying to be irritated because you feel a certain way about a certain person and you don't want to accept nothing from them, you know. So it's like, just try not to be stubborn to the point where you're blocking out your blessings or the things that the divine is trying to bring into you, you know. I feel like this comfort that came out again is really important, you know. I feel like you need to get very comfortable when it comes to the energy of taking risks and having a lot of confidence in the risks that you take. And look at this grace, everyone is connected, you know, because I feel like I don't know, like there's something beautiful coming in that it has something to do with like other people, you know. So you just need to be open to receiving and not try to like pick and choose where your blessings come from, okay? Like, that's the message, okay? What else? Because it's blessings coming in, and I feel like they could be coming in from like different directions, you know. I don't feel like this is just like one big blessing that's coming in from one place. I feel like there's about to be like a series of very fortunate events that are going to happen for you, okay? We got exploration with step outside your boundaries, but it requires you to step outside of your boundaries. It requires you to step outside of like what kind of people you think you would work with or what kind of energies you think you should be around, you know, because we think that, you know, certain shit is good for us, love being a great example, you know. We think that we find the perfect person multiple times in our lives, and a lot of times those things just don't work out, and there's like this big falling out or whatever. And as we get older and we date more, then we realize that our type was not what we thought was our type at all, right? It's the complete opposite, okay? In some cases, because some people meet their person, you know, and they're just like together forever and everything's great, you know. But for most of us, that's not the case, you know. And so it's like everything in life is like that. Step outside of that boundary of what you're comfortable with or what you think you should be doing or what you think you can attract, okay? Because I feel like your idea of what you're going to attract in this life is way smaller than what you're actually about to be able to accomplish and to attract with the right stability and the right comfort coming into your life, okay? What's receive and comfort? We got curiosity, okay, with it's worth the risk, you know. Curiosity doesn't always kill the cat. Sometimes curiosity educates the cat and puts the cat in a better position where they get to eat, okay? Right? Because stray cats wander onto porches all the time out of curiosity, and they don't die when they get there. They actually get a blessing because they went outside of their comfort zone to investigate that shit that their intuition was telling them to investigate, you know. And so, you know, I feel like Isis is kind of dropping those same kind of hints, you know, like step out of what you think you should be doing, you know, and really recognize that you don't have to look at every conundrum like it's such this big horrible thing. Sometimes you're just not in charge. Sometimes the divine is just moving in your life in order to get you to a place where you're more open to receiving, and you're receiving exactly what it is that's for you, and not something that would have been like a quick fix when you felt like you needed it, right? Because we know that God is always on time, okay? Not when you want it, when it's the perfect time for you to get it. What's risk and self-confidence? We got nurture, okay? Would take your licks, okay? So like I said, you know, I feel like you've been taking a lot of licks, and at this point it's like, I don't know, if things get mixed up or if things seem like they're falling apart, you know, like you get really in your head. Not like you just like completely spiral and go backwards, but I feel like you tend to overthink certain situations or certain difficulties because you're still viewing them as difficulties and not necessarily a temporary obstacle that's in your path that you know you're finna overcome, and it's not finna be no problems, you know. And so I feel like you need to have a lot more confidence in the divine and the way that you stand your ground. And like I said, the choices and decisions that you've made up until this point. Because I feel like Spirit's about to like reveal a lot of things. You know, I'm doing this. Like they're about to like, open up a treasure chest. Okay. That's what I was thinking about when I did that. They're about to open up this little treasure chest and show you certain things that you haven't necessarily been ready to see because you weren't necessarily a vibrational match for the things that you're ready to see now, or things that you're ready to understand or steps that you're ready to take. What's self-confidence and exploration? We got self-care with time to cleanse, okay? So take really, really good care of yourself at this time. And I feel like it's really an energy of compassion, right? Like have a lot of compassion for yourself, and I kind of love these two pictures next to each other, right? Because it's kind of like the more you care for yourself, the more that you keep yourself clean, you keep your energy cleansed, the more you allow spirit, the mama cat or the beings that watch over you to give you that same kind of care that you attract to yourself by giving yourself that kind of care, okay? So that's why your self-care is super important at this time, okay? What's this? We got tolerance with sitting with it, and we got manifest from thought to form, okay? So be careful what kinds of things you could be stewing over or worrying about, sometimes hold on. So sometimes we manifest whatever it is that we put a lot of time and energy and focus on, right? Okay, so if you're sitting with energies and thoughts and things that don't serve you, or you're being very stubborn about letting certain things go or forgiving certain people, then you're kind of instigating that very energy in your own life, and they just really don't want that for you right now. They want you to focus more on your wholeness and things that make you feel whole, things that bring out more of your wisdom, and they want you to kind of enjoy the carefree fun side of life as much as you can, permission to pamper yourself, okay? Yeah, and get ready for this incoming surprise, okay? You're gonna be like, oh my God, I deserve this. Hell yeah, but all you have to do is maintain this balance while you're waiting on whatever it is that's meant to come in, And if there is anything that you've been sitting with or having kind of recurring thoughts or whatever, go ahead and work through those things, okay? Do the shadow work, face it. Why do I feel like this about this? Or why do I feel like this about this person? Or why do I have these feelings about taking certain risks or stepping out of my comfort zone? And how can I boost my own confidence? Or what steps can I take to get myself a little bit closer to what it is that I want, even though I feel like it's outside of my boundaries? Because with that 1, 2, 3 energy, it's every little step you take, or every little effort you put in, or every little thought you put toward your own advancement manifests into a positive energy in your life. I got that feeling where they got a lot of stuff to say. Okay, what's curiosity, receive, and comfort? This one, okay? It's monk none, okay? I don't know. You could be kind of hard on yourself. You could be trying to crack the whip on yourself too hard, no fun, but also I feel like you could keep a lot of time, you could keep to yourself a lot of the time, because I don't know, you have this real deep dedication to spirit. You could have a real spiritual type of energy, and I think you receive a lot of negative judgment even when you don't necessarily do nothing. You don't have to do nothing. I feel you kind of just attract haters sometimes, and so you tend to keep to yourself. But also I think you have in your mind, I'm always attracting haters, try to get rid of that energy too, because that shit will be true, okay? What's comfort, conundrum, and risk? We got companion, okay? Think more about, I always attract the perfect people that are perfect for me. I always attract people that I can network, I'm always attracting somebody that's in the same field as me that brings me some sort of advancement, or who I can advance in my very same field, It's all about the way that you think about things, okay? It says, But I think also, okay, because in the shadow attributes, it's talking about betrayal and misusing confidences and a loss of personal identity. I think you've definitely gone through betrayals with certain people in the past, and you could be kind of afraid, subconsciously to attract more friends or to invite more people into your life, because you don't want to be like the engineer of like your next downfall, but that's kind of like a mentality of fear or a mentality of like scarcity, like telling yourself that there's no good people in the world, it's just not true. And it's totally possible to attract the right people for you. What's risk, nurture, and self-confidence? We got student, okay? So you could be really learning a lot of things, really being pushed to do a lot of research, into the thing that you've kind of like devoted your it says humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning, so it's like you're forever the student. You're like a sponge, okay? Always willing to learn something, always willing to discover new things. And that's really so very beautiful, Your curiosity has educated you so much in your life, So don't be afraid to get curious when it comes to taking even bigger steps. What's self confidence, self care, and exploration? We got the scribe, okay? It says perceiving knowledge, no, preserving knowledge and information, okay? So you're like some sort of collector of knowledge, okay? Like you know a lot of things, okay? I'm kind of like that too, like it's kind of like my mind is like this bank, and it's like nothing that I like learn or see or that happens in my like auric field or in my awareness that I don't like keep with me, like there's always something. And then I like use most of those things to like do what I do for spirit and things like that, so just be aware that like all of your experiences and everything, all the things you study, like it can all of that knowledge can be utilized to advance yourself or to help you do your divine journey in some sort of way. What's monk, nun, and companion? We got destroyer, okay? So it's talking about releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for a new life, okay? So that's like confirmation, okay? But I feel like there could be some people on the outside of you who have like this intoxication with destructive power, like people that want to destroy your dreams or your potential for whatever, for one reason or another, right? But I think that it's important that you just ignore that and just focus on building, because there's so much more power in building than there is in destroying, right? And it's terrible when you're walking around trying to destroy other people's shit, because you get really nasty karma for that, because God always is going to correct your course and point you in a way to do what the fuck you supposed to be doing and not tearing somebody else's shit down, What's companion and student? We got artist, okay? So continue to express your artistic abilities, okay? It says expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses and inspiring others to see life symbolically, I feel like you could have like a really different way of looking at life, I feel like your expression of yourself is just kind of like artistic in every way. Like you could be considered kind of weird, you could have like unusual piercings or a lot of tattoos, or just like your own unique style or expression or the way that you express yourself. What's the student and the scribe? We got the alchemist, okay? And you're like created like that for a reason, okay? You have been spending a lot of time transforming all of your base motives into bigger goals and golden wisdom. And that will never be a waste of your time, okay? So just like avoid people on the outside of you who try to misuse their power and knowledge in a negative way, or it's just giving like an energy of more like manipulation. I feel like, I don't know, you could know some people that are like kind of manipulative. They really like to play a lot of games with the mind, And you don't have to allow that shit in, okay? Like, it takes two to tango, okay? And if you're not open to that shit, then it just can't happen, okay? Look at the trickster at the bottom of the deck and the angel under that, okay? It's always going to be a trickster trying to come and get you, baby, because you're a beautiful and amazing earth angel. And you deserve better, and you're focused on attracting that. And that is what the shit that the devil don't want to see, okay? Why do the tricksters say manipulating others through duplicity, okay? So that's confirmation, okay? And the angel card says acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance, okay? So somebody, that's fake guru energy, okay? But I feel like you really help others in need. You know, you don't really expect too much back. I feel like with this liberator right here, you know, you're really free and you want others to be free. And you've like transcended like anybody's like conventional way of attacking you, or, you know, any stuffiness or anybody that's predictable that wants you to be predictable right along with them. I feel like you just refuse, you know, like you're giving real rebel energy, okay? But this is the way that you're guided by God when I part the deck, okay? It says benevolence and compassion, and recognizing the internal force within yourself and others. You honor your uniqueness and all of the light that God has placed within you. So when it comes to other people controlling you, it'll never fucking happen, okay? It'll never happen, baby. And we got judgment right here at the bottom of the deck, okay? And we got the Hierophant under that, okay? Somebody getting punished by the divine, okay? If they just nasty. It shouldn't be that funny, but it was funny because of the way that the cards came out, okay? Like, please know that Spirit is working on your behalf to make sure you shine like the star that you are. I'm hearing God give me style, God give me grace, God give me style, God give me grace, God put a smile on my face, God put this smile on my face, God make me shine like the sun, God make me shine like the sun. Sometimes I feel like I'm the one. Sometimes I feel like I'm the one, okay? It ain't my fault. I just reeks with style. I'm hot, I breaks it down. It ain't my fault. You can't break it down the way I breaks it down. Listen, you can call me what you want, black and ugly, but you can't convince me the Lord don't love me. Come on, look, we got the Wheel of Fortune, period. God love you, and you know that. You know that everything that you ever wanted or needed is being provided for you. And I feel like you're really grateful that you don't have to change who you are or change your style or switch up anything in order to like accept yourself or to move through life, you know, because that's a terrible way to live, right? According to everybody else's expectations and standards of who you should be. You're not gonna ever do that. What's companion, artist, and the student? Okay, we got judgment. So also, I feel like you're not very judgmental, you know. I feel like you're very fair when it comes to the way that you look at others, and you just try to keep everything straight. And that's exactly why you're attracting all of these unexpected blessings, okay? Because you kind of stay on the up and up no matter what. I feel like, of course, you're human, so you have your days where, like, you might have an attitude. You might cuss like a sailor. I cuss like a fucking sailor, okay? Especially when I'm irritated, you know. But I never forget, like, where my shit comes from. And I try to show a lot of gratitude to the divine, and they always bring me out of hard situations, and I think that they definitely do the same for you. What's student, scribe, and alchemist? Okay, what's this? We got the 6 of candles, okay? So 6 of wands energy. You could be getting some sort of public recognition, or you could just be someone who's like very popular, very passionate about the things that are coming toward you in the future, okay? And you need to do that. Or this could be like this big unexpected, why you're getting so much unexpected income. You could be about to get like some unexpected attention. It's like going viral type of energy, okay? What's the Wheel of Fortune and the Judgment? We got the 2 of Potions, okay? So also, there's a huge improvement coming, like, to your relationships, you know, to the way you exchange energy in the relationships that you already have, that you're planning on keeping around, and, like, even new people being thrown in the mix that you'll be able to exchange energy with, like soul family energy, you know? Because it gave me, like, the warm and fuzzies, okay? What's Judgment and the 6 of Candles? We got the Magician, okay? And this is all things that you've attracted to yourself, okay? Just by changing your mind and refusing to juggle any like financial problems or anything like that. Like, I don't feel like you juggle. I think you focus on the balance as much as you can, and you try to stay aware that spirit is in charge. And it's just like, when you do that, the ride can be a little bit crazy at times, because spirit doesn't always explain why they're moving the way that they're moving. But I think you kind of like hang on, you hang on still. Like, you don't just let go or quit or give up on yourself. And that's really great. And Isis just wants you to focus on like destroying any like outdated ways of thinking or anything that has the potential to hold you back from going where you want to go, right? Because you have to like empty out that space in order to fill it with new energy, or to fill it with new opportunities, or to fill it with like new things that spirit wants to bring into your life, okay? But you're going through an ascension at this time, okay? Look at the spirit guides right under that, and this galactic vibration, okay? So your vibration is raising in a major way, This one says liberation and a sense of greater purpose and high expectations, okay? So keep your expectations extremely high, and really have a lot of trust in the knowledge that you have about yourself and about the path that you've chosen to walk, because it's just so great for you, okay? It's so good for you. This is energy attachments, okay? It says energy exchange, negative influences, and self-sabotage. I feel like that was a real thing for you in the future. Not to say, I said in the future. Ooh, I didn't mean to say that, but that's not a real thing for you in the future, baby, okay? That is not what I meant at all. What I mean to say is, in the past, you had to deal with a lot, you did a lot of energy exchanging with people who were like negative influences in your life, or people who influenced or encouraged you to self-sabotage, okay? Like maybe you could have done a lot of numbing and a lot of like escapism, and this is not something that's about to happen for you in the future. This is the number 13, which is that energy of death again, okay? Like this is a part of your life that you have laid to rest, okay? Yeah, so in the future, there'll be a lot more emotional expression, okay? And not this energy of people who want to exploit your innocence. Like you'll be able to express this playful innocence of your inner child and not be judged for it, or have people like try to put you down for being positive and nice, okay? Or trying to find like the evil underneath your niceness, because they got trust issues and they feel like there's no nice people in the world. We got angelic realms. It says a team effort, okay? So know that everything that you do is a team effort. And we got charity, validation, and patience, okay? So some long-awaited validation is coming into you, and you just need to be very patient and continue to do what it is that you do. Continue to work toward expressing yourself the way that you do along your journey, and you will see beautiful results, okay? We got universal Merkaba coming out. So it says a sacred purpose, you have the answer in lucid dreaming, okay? Pay a lot of attention to your dreams at this time, okay? You are walking a beautiful sacred purpose, and you really truly do have like this cosmic map within you, baby, okay? All you have to do is follow it, and sometimes parts of the map are blurry, like on those dragon games, right? On those merge games where you have to merge everything in that section, or get so many points, or get yourself to a certain point, and then the clouds clear and you can see the next section of the game that you're supposed to play. That's kind of how life is sometimes, okay? Like there's certain things you have to clear out of yourself in order to understand the next parts of the journey, but all of the answers are in there, okay? There's some sort of beautiful Dharma type of energy headed toward you, a lot more wisdom, giving me crown chakra upgrade energy, okay? But it says karmic lessons, peer pressure, and moral codes. I feel like you went through a lot of karmic lessons when it came to like the people around you, and just kind of understanding how you deal with people. Like maybe you could have been a bit of a people pleaser in the past, and you could be definitely, that could be something that you walked away from, learning how to be much more independent in your moves, and not necessarily needing the validation to come from other people. But you're about to get that. I said that already. What's universal Merkaba and the Dharma wheel? We got magical alchemy, okay? You are definitely an alchemist. Because that shit came out here for you twice, okay? We got past life, and this alchemy shit. You brought this with you, okay? You already know how to do it, okay? Also, a little bit of past life regression could definitely help, like looking into your past life, or I don't know. I don't know how you do it. However you do it. Like if you do divination, like me, I've definitely pulled cards on like my past life and talked to spirit about things like that. However you do it, however you commune with spirit. You can ask spirit to like send you a dream. You could be a really really lucid dreamer. You can ask for dreams. Okay, you can like ask questions and then go to sleep with a purpose, with an intention to receive a message in your dreams, and you will. Okay, if it's something that you're meant to see, okay? So I guess that's the suggestion on how to do this past life regression with spirit. So magical alchemy says innovation, ingenuity, curiosity, and ahead of your time, okay? You're just a little bit ahead of your time, and that can make you feel kind of out of place sometimes, okay? So just don't worry, or don't feel like, you're too weird or too strange or none of that shit, okay? You're perfect, like you're wonderfully weird, okay? Like let your fucking freak flag fly, okay? Please. Because I'm hearing like it serves nobody for you to walk through life being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like who benefits from that shit? From you pretending to be something you're not? Nobody. Okay, be your fucking self at all times, and fuck what anybody outside of you has to say about that. What's the final thought on this? So we got stay true and be in your power. Okay. It says Osiris and Isis, Lord and Lady of Divine Authority, okay? These don't have numbers. They're just alphabetical order. Oh, found it. So, it says, you are a sovereign divine being with spiritual authority and freedom within you. You do not need permission from anyone to be who you are and live your life as you so choose. This is your divine birthright. Guard it as the precious treasure that it is, and remember that you are a divine being, okay? It says the flail and crook, okay, which is what she has in her hand. It's like one side of it, okay? Like the little hook thing and the straight thing that you see all the time in like Egyptian symbolism and things like that. That's the flail and crook, okay? It says often held by Osiris are symbols of divine royalty and dominion. These symbols remind us that within we hold great dominion, spiritual authority, and freedom to be the sovereign ruler of our own self. This does not mean that we have to control life or others or even the environment around us, but it does give us complete and utter choice to become as spiritually awake, free, and self-determined as we wish to be, as well as providing us with complete choice as to what our values and actions will be this lifetime. There is no permission required from anyone apart from yourself to be and live your truth. There are many voices that will test you on the journey from illusory shackles of fear, loss, or abandonment that may hold you back or tempt you into giving your power away to others. You shall awaken from the testing into the realization of spiritual independence within. Of course, there is more to spiritual authority than just recognizing that it lies within you. There are times when you must act on it, guard it, and protect it, which means recognizing when others seek to exert influence over you for their own reasons, or when you are being manipulated out of your own authority, becoming blind to your own power of choice and instead believing that things just are the way that they are and you cannot question or query. Sometimes during such challenges, to wield the crook and flail to exert one's own spiritual authority requires that you stand your ground and remain true to your knowing. This is not about achieving a certain outcome or attempting to control something or someone or even forcing things to be as you wish they could be. Standing your ground means always telling yourself the truth and not selling out or giving away something that has genuine spiritual truth and and meaning for you. It is not about making another see things the same way. It is about honoring your own truth. And if your truth is wise enough to include compassion, then honoring the other, even when the other disagrees with you or seeks to harm you out of their own fear. You do not have to challenge another in order to honor your truths and inner authority. If you feel that another has to agree with you in order for your authority to be intact, then it isn't genuine inner authority at all. The fact that you don't need to have the agreement of others in order to live an empowered life can be a liberating realization. Yet there are times when life can feel like an assault against your truths, with many challenging you. For those souls who have come to master spiritual authority this lifetime, there is a test to remain true without becoming dogmatic, to honor what you know is true without minimizing, judging, or dismissing the truths of another that are different from yours, but just as true for them. You have the power to create and own your reality, and you don't need permission from anyone else to do this. Honor your spiritual sovereignty. Let the Lady Isis help you find your spiritual authority and freedom of choice now, okay? Let me see what else. It says, if you have pulled the Queen of Heaven as well as this one, you are guided to deeply question the power of external authority figures in your life, whether they be spiritual teachers, gurus, parents, or employers. These beings may be doing their best to help you, but it is up to you to find your own truths. These beings can be mirrors for your own awareness at best. You are guided to exercise care and discernment about any issue that feels like it is compromising your sense of self and personal power in such relationships. That issue is a soul healing trying to happen. Look within and see if you can grow through it in some way. There is much self-confidence trying to emerge from within you, and that's why I was kind of touching on somebody that you might not necessarily want this amazing help from, but that might be like exactly where it comes from, you know. You might struggle with like authority, right? Because you are kind of, you know, weird, and you accept yourself as how you are, and you're used to people like attacking you for that. But I feel like somebody's coming in to kind of like work with you or mentor you or give you some sort of help, you know, and you might be kind of like hesitant to take that help at first. But I think that it's important to work on healing your relationship that you do have with authority, or that you might have with people who are like, you know, above you, right? With like older people and things like that. You know, they're not above you, of course. We all just have experiences that we could share with each other to shape each other into better human beings, you know. But you'll be surprised where you can learn things from, or what kind of wisdom you can absorb from another person and their experiences, okay? So just don't close yourself off to that, is all she's saying. It says, seeking to hand over any responsibility for your own well-being to another can be a tricky and ultimately self-destructive path, even though it may seem to start off as a relief of stress about some concern or other. This card also guides you to take responsibility for your health into your own hands too. Advice from health professionals and doctors can be helpful and sometimes can be mistaken. It is up to you to decide for yourself how you wish to work with your body. Don't be scared. Listen to the advice given by other professionals, but remember, your life is your spiritual gift. Don't be afraid to live it in your own way, you know. And she's just making me think about, you know, like like all of these conflicting ideas, you know, like flat earthers and round earthers, you know, barefooters and people that wear shoes, you know. It's like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter like who's it hurting if you believe the fucking earth is flat, okay? That's your business. You're gonna live and you're gonna die just like everybody else thinking that the earth is flat, okay? It's your choice, okay? If you decide you don't want to wear shoes because you feel feel a stronger connection to earth and you want to, you know, live your life barefoot, then fuck everybody else who has a problem with you not wearing shoes. They don't let you not wear shoes in that establishment. Okay, just don't go there. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like, at the end of the day, you're always going to be someone who thinks in the opposite way of you, and we should all be able to, like, get along even if we don't necessarily think the exact same way, or we're not necessarily walking the exact same path, you know. So, like, just keep that in mind as you continue to go forward, babe, and just don't be afraid to, like, get curious and step out of your comfort zone, okay? So, with that, I'm done. I hope you guys have a happy, fabulous, wonderful, and amazing day, that you got something that you need out of this, and I will see you later, my love. Bye.